Hello again and welcome back to the PhatPhish Guitar Studio. I'm Dave, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at 12-bar blues. Now if you've been playing guitar for any length of time, you're probably familiar with the 12-bar blues progression. What I want to look at today is another way of playing that, another variation, another sort of like standard way of playing 12-bar blues. The 12-bar blues chord progression, just to quickly recap it as a starting off point for this, is if you think about a key, so for argument's sake we're playing the key of A, we've got the notes A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp and A, and we build chords on those. The 12-bar blues is using the chord that's based on the first degree, chord that's based on the fourth degree, and the chord that's based on the fifth degree. So in the key of A, we're going to be using the A major chord, the D major chord, and the E major chord. And the chords are organised like this. So we've got 4 bars of the 1 chord. So that's 4 bars of A, 2 bars of D, the 4 chord, then back to 2 bars of A, the 1 chord. Then we've got 1 bar of E, 5 chord, down to 1 bar of D, the 4 chord, and then back to 2 bars of A, the 1 chord. And if we string those together, we get something that sounds like this. Yeah, that should sound very familiar. 12-bar blues progression crops up all over the place, and you can play it with different variations. I've seen it played with just like straight major chords, or we can use 7th chords, or you can use little things like type of things, but it all comes down to playing that pattern of 4 bars of the 1 chord, 2 bars of the 4 chord, and so on. So that's a 12-bar blues in the key of A major. We could transpose that to any key. You know, this example we're using A major. So it's a 12-bar blues in the key of A major using major chords, and over the top of that we could use major blues, we could use minor blues, we could use minor pentatonics. Blues is interesting in that you can use major and minor together, and so even using a progression very much in a major key comprising just major type chords. We could play over the top of that with like a minor pentatonic or a minor blues scale. Let's think about moving that whole thing into a minor key though. So easiest way to do this is, okay, in this example we're playing the key of A major, let's play in the key of A natural minor. And this is as simple as changing all of those major chords for minor chords. So we'd end up with 4 bars of A minor, 2 bars of D minor, 2 bars of A minor, then a bar of E minor, a bar of D minor, and 2 bars of A minor again. And put those together and it sounds like this. Yeah, so over the top of that we could use minor pentatonic, minor blues. Actually we could probably use natural minor. I find that when you move this into a minor key, it opens up more minory possibilities, if that is minory, is that even a word? It should be, it is now. And you can kind of bring out the minor tonality a bit more by using the natural minor scale. You could maybe use the major blues over the top of it, but it doesn't gel quite right. It's funny, like minor type scales over major chords works in blues, major type scales over minor chords in blues doesn't work so well, but it's subjective. You know, these are guidelines rather than hard and fast rules. You may find something that works perfectly fine for you, but that's kind of where we are. That's using that basic chord progression based around 1 chord, 4 chord, back to 1 chord, then 5, 4, and back to 1. What I want to look at in this video, after all of that preamble, is another variation of that, which you'll hear quite a bit, but I think it works really, really nicely in a minor key. And the magic in this one all happens around the 9th and 10th bars. So if you think about this as being the regular 12 bar blues that we've just been looking at, what we can do in bars 9 and 10 is, instead of playing a 5 chord followed by a 4 chord, we actually play a flat 6 major chord down to the 5 minor chord. Flat 6 major, what's that about? Well, if you think about the natural minor scale, we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and back to A. A natural minor is really easy to remember because there's no accented note names in there, it's just natural note names. And if we harmonise the A natural minor out in chords, and if you're not super heavy into the theory already, don't worry too much about this. I've got other tutorials on the channel you can go and have a look at, but just to explain what we're doing here, each note of the scale for the key has chords that we can build on it. And in the key of A minor, we've got A minor, B diminished, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and back to A minor. So the formula of the scale is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. So flat 6, that's an F. The chord that we build on the F is a F major, so that's the flat 6th degree has a major chord on it. So that's what I mean when I say a flat 6 major. It's the major chord on the flat 6th degree of the scale. But yeah, that's the 9th chord of the progression, and that's 10th bar progression. And we'll go back to the A minor. I'll play it and show you what I mean. Yeah, so that just has a totally different feel around bars 9 and 10. It's interesting the feel that it gives you. You're actually introducing a major chord in a minor progression. I actually think it brings out the minor tonality because you're playing a chord for all. It's got a major feel to it. It's on the flat 6th degree. The flat 6, that's a very natural minor chord degree, if you know what I mean. So it gives the progression a different feel. You'll hear this progression in a few different places. Probably the most famous example of it is The Thriller's Gone by B.B. King. Uses that structure of the 12 bar blues rather than like the regular one. But you'll hear it all over the place. I really, really like it. As I said, being a minor progression, it works better with minor scales over the top of it. So minor pentatonic, minor blues, or the natural minor. This one, because of that flat 6 major to 5 minor on bars 9 and 10, it has a very minor-y sort of feel. So I think the natural minor scale works very effectively over the top of this to really give you accentuate that minor sound, that sadder sound, that's something a little bit more somber. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly record a progression and just put it onto the looper pedal. I might spice it up and put some 7 chords in there just to accentuate the harmony of it a little bit, but it's basically the same progression. I'll record that and then play some solos over the top of it. First time through just using the minor pentatonic, minor blues type of approach, and then second time around focus more on the notes from the natural minor, and you can hear the feel. So let's get that recorded and I'll be back in a second. So you can hear that's very much a minor sounding progression. It's still a 12 bar blues at heart, but because of the way those chords in bars 9 and 10 work, they really accentuate the minor feel of the piece, and I think that's why the natural minor works so well over it. I mean, the minor pentatonic and minor blues work well when you go for a more bluesy feel with that minor twist, but really bringing out the minor sound when you use the natural minor scale, as you might expect. Really, this is just a quick lesson to basically make you aware that that progression exists, so you can go away, and if you haven't used it before, experiment with it. So we just looked at it in terms of basic chords here, but you could, on any chord in a key, you've got all sorts of variations. You've got the basic triad, you've got the 7th chord, you could extend it into like playing 9ths, or 11 chords, 13 chords. You could play sus2, sus4s. There's lots of different types of chord within one family, but as long as the root note of the chord is following the way that the progression works, it's still that progression. So experiment with it. If you're not super familiar with some of the theory I'm talking about in terms of chord construction, there are other videos on the channel. Have a look at those. I'll put some links in the information section down there for you to have a look if you want to familiarize yourself a little bit more with the theory side of things. Okay, so hopefully you found that useful and found that interesting. If you did, then please click the like button down there. If you really enjoyed it and you want to see other videos that I post on the channel, then please click subscribe and click the bell icon as well. That way you get a notification anytime I upload a new video onto the channel. You're welcome to leave a comment, but I don't always get notified by YouTube when people leave comments on videos. So if there's something specific you want to ask me, whether it's about guitar playing, music theory, guitar gear, anything at all, you're better off going here. If you fill that form in, its question comes directly to me and I can get around to answering your question in a future video. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.